Hey everybody, this is Paul Perry with Alpha with Insurance Made Simple. Good to see you today. We're going to continue our conversation about claims. The last time we did this, we talked about how claims affects your autos. This week we're going to talk about how claims affects your home. Now there's a lot of similarities between the two. Number one being, remember we talked about last time that when you have no claims, you're getting a no claims discount. That can be sometimes anywhere from 10 to 15, maybe even 20%, depending upon how long you've been with the company. So anytime you have a claim, you're going to lose that no claim discount. Kind of makes sense. But bear in mind, there's really no difference between losing a discount and getting a surcharge because your rate increases either way. It's just words, it's just semantics, but you want to try to make sure that you don't have claims as much as possible because that's a discount you want to keep. So what do? Isn't that why I got the insurance, was to protect me if I have a claim? And you're absolutely correct, it is. But we want to make sure that we try to protect that discount, protect not having claims as much as possible. So let's look at 4 things that you can do to kind of help protect your home and protect it from claims. Number 1, try to absorb small claims. Now, obviously, if it's less than your deductible, there's not going to be any claim made at all. But let's say you have a $2,000 deductible and you've got a claim for $2,100. Well, that's my $100. I have every right. Yes, you do. You have every right to that claim. But bear in mind, if it's $100, $200, $300 that you're going to get back from that claim, you may want to think twice because, again, if you lose that discount, and if that discount's $200 or $300, not only do you just break even that first year, but then the second and the third and the fourth year, now you're in the hole again because now you're paying more and all you got was $200 or $300 back. All right. Number 2, look at a higher deductible. Now this will automatically force you into absorbing smaller claims, but it'll also give you a discount up front so that because you've got a higher deductible. Now, a lot of companies are already moving to this to kind of prevent big rate increases. So it's very common to have a 0.5%, or really more common now is a 1% deductible. All right, so Paul, what does that mean? What is a 1% deductible? If you've got a $200,000 house, so the dwelling is $200,000, 1% of $200,000 is $2,000. So that is now your deductible. Well, why is it a percentage? Well, your house, again, if you've got replacement cost coverage, what we've talked about in previous videos, is you've got inflation guard that goes up with what the stated rate of inflation is every year. So that $200,000 house becomes a $202,000, and then $204,000 and $207,000. So it goes up, so your buying power remains the same. So that deductible is 1% of the home. So as it goes up, your deductible goes up as well. All right, number 3, try your best to do things that prevent claims. So what are the things I can do? I can't prevent tornadoes. I can't prevent a lot of things. Yeah, but you can prevent things that are within your control. Water is one of the big ones. So one of the things that you can do is inspect your roof so that you're not having a water claim. I would do that once a year. Get with whoever is a good roofer in your area, and they can make sure that your shingles are in good place and you're not going to have leaks. Number 2, you can also cut down limbs on trees that are close to your house. Again, doesn't take much of a windstorm to knock down a limb and now put a hole in your roof or to tear up shingles. One of the biggest things that you can do is to make sure that your water lines, your hoses, that they're in good condition. I would recommend that you change your water lines and your hoses at least every 7 to 8 years. And when you do replace them, try to get braided steel lines. Now, you can do that for your water line going to your toilet, water lines going to your faucets. but definitely for your washing machines, because they're notorious for making sure that, for having problems. Also, get your hot water tank inspected, because that's something that we just take for granted. And if you see rust around the bottom, it's probably time to make sure that you get that replaced as well. Number 4, is don't file a claim unless you know it's claim worthy. You don't want to file a claim and get told no. Now again, this goes back to that thing, that's what you bought the insurance for. But the thing you want to do is talk to your agent. They're not a claims adjuster, but they can give you advice and let you know, hey, no, that's not covered. For instance, external water is never covered by a homeowner's policy. So if you've got runoff coming from the back of your property because of a rainstorm and it floods your basement, it's not covered, because you have to have a flood insurance policy to cover that. So again, the worst claim out there is a zero payout claim because it wasn't covered. So talk to your agent. Hopefully you got an agent, because a lot of companies, and it's not that way with Alpha, but a lot of companies, if you just call about a claim, they're going to mark it as a claim. So make sure, if you don't have an agent, or if you're with one of these online companies, you make sure that if you call and ask them a question about a claim, you make sure to ask, is this counting as a claim? Because you need to make sure to tell them, I do not want it. Because I have had several companies, and mainly of those, most of those are online companies, that they call to ask, hey, this happened, what should I do? Should I file a claim? And they decide, well, let me just think about it. And then they find out months later that that was a zero payout claim. Terrible, I know, but just be aware of it. The last thing I want to talk about is make sure that you have got a company that cares about you and will take care of you when claim time happens. I used to work for a water restoration company before I came to Alpha, and when I decided to get in the business, I knew, because I saw who paid claims and who didn't, who was out there going, no, that's my money. If you have a company that's that way, it's time to change and get somebody that really cares about delivering on the promise. Now, what do I mean by delivering on the promise? When you pay that premium every month, you're saying, hey, I'm giving you money so that if something happens, I'm protected. And you shouldn't be hassled during that time. I'm not saying that they're going to roll over and write a check out for everything, but they shouldn't give you a hard time because you've made a claim and that they need to cover it, especially on roofs and things like that. If you've got a roofer, especially multiple roofers that have given you a quote that it needs to be replaced, if your company's hassling you over that and just wants to replace 2 or 3 shingles, guys, I'm sorry, it's time to change. So just want you to know that Alpha's that kind of company that believes, and again, I've seen it time and time again, that's what we're here for, is to take care of you when claims happen. So guys, continue to call me with your questions. I want to continue this going on. Let me pull up my contact information so that you know how to be able to get in touch with me. If I can do it. Here we go. Paul Perry with Alpha Insurance. There's my contact number. That's my website and my email. So if you need me, give me a call, send me your questions. Be glad to take care of them on here. And as always, be safe, be careful.